war is wrong between Israel and Palestine, it's also wrong in Sudan. It's wrong in Congo. It's wrong everywhere. It's wrong in Syria. These are people made in the image of God. And that's why I'm non-aligned, because I don't go now debating who is better between Zelensky and Putin.
Hey there and welcome to Fanya Mambo Africa. Super excited. Today I'm hosting one of the 2027's presidential candidates. By the end of this show, you sure might be convinced to have him as a president for you. He's also a musician, a human rights activist, and an active citizen who wants the best for Kenya. I'm speaking about none other than Dr. Reuben Kigame. Karibu sana Alfa House.
Asante sana Sarah. You forgot that mimi ni mwalimu. Sasa ukisahau hiyo, hiyo ndio kazi yangu. Mimi ni mwalimu.
Very nice. At least you have said
hata ukisikia doctor, sio kwa sababu ninatibu watu, ni kwa sababu ni udaktari wa masomo. Ile PhD ya kufundisha kwenye chuo kikuu.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
How is it coming along as a mwalimu?
Well, I've always done it since 1990, so it's second nature. I used to be with the Teacher Service Commission at first. Then I resigned. I resigned and so went into broadcasting and all of that. Yeah. But now I teach because, I love to do it and also as mentorship. So yeah, it's going well.
It's going well.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we are on that side of education, when you see what is happening in the education sector in Kenya, now let's delve into it. We are having issues of capitation, teachers saying we can't keep students in school because of all those things.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, and what do you think is the missing link?
So every time you think of the education sector, Sarah, you have systemic issues and then you have personality issues.
Yes.
We don't really have a lot of systemic issues. We have personality issues. People interfere with the education system, and especially the politicians. So we have turned the education sector into a political, game house.
Okay.
So instead of asking experts in education to solve education problems, we are asking politicians, we are asking busybodies to take decisions on education. And that's where we are going wrong. But the biggest problem is lack of will. Lack of will to make Kenya's education work for the people of Kenya. So I like to give this example. 1990, that's when I graduated from university, undergrad, okay?
Okay.
That same year, President Ruto graduated from the University of Nairobi.
In 1990?
1990.
Okay.
That same year, Dr. Fred Matiang'i graduated from Kenyatta University. We were in college at the same time.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Sasa taswira ni hii, kwamba at that time, education worked perfectly. Okay? Yes. Maybe not the best, but it worked much better than what it is now.
Okay.
For example, capitation was not really delayed.
Yes.
Secondly, accommodation of students was never an issue. You actually had what you call the University Students Accommodation Board, USAB. We call them USAB. USAB always ensured that students were accommodated. Okay? Now, after Moi University went on strike, I think it was 1984, you had a problem. So there was a delay in the intake because there was a lot that happened. So you had what you call a double intake in 1987. They took the students from 1986 that I was part of and 1985 that were delayed. You had a double intake, and USAB and Ministry of Education, everyone worked to make it work, for the double intake.
Okay.
USAB even went into constructing what you call refurbs, refabricated facilities for student accommodation. If you go to Kenyatta University and other universities, you'll find, those structures that were made to accommodate students.
Yes.
We had 3 full meals every day. You had a full breakfast, utakula mpaka na sausage ama mayai na matunda.
You guys lived a good life.
I'm just trying to paint for you the system that Matiang'i, Ruto, and I were part of. Mm-hmm. It worked. At lunch, you would get not just your rice or potatoes or ugali. You got vegetables, you got fruits. On Fridays, you even got ice cream.
Wow.
I'm not talking about fairy tales. I'm talking about me sitting at Kenyatta University dining hall and eating ice cream or jelly. Okay?
Must have been nice.
Then, jioni, twice a week, we had chapatis. Try to imagine making chapatis for about 4,000 students. It was there. Watu walikuwa nabeba chakula kupelekea nguruwe because there was enough food. Mm-hmm. On top of that, Sarah, you had what we called boom. You'd get your 4,000 or 5,000 per semester to help you with your personal, needs and all of that. So this worked in my day, in Ruto's day, in Matiang'i's day.
Yeah.
And recently, although the tweet that I put out has been shadow banned, I indicated that the two of them, that's Ruto and Matiang'i, should know that what they are doing to Kenyans is wrong. Because they know the difference. They know what it took for education to work. We cannot now begin to punish parents, punish students, because of lack of will to make education work. There was no need to introduce CBC or CBE, as they call it now.
Yeah.
This is just a way to make money out of parents and out of, the national coffers. There was no need, because we had just changed the education system from 7-4-2-3 to 8-4-4. So if you wanted education to be more practical, just make it more practical, introduce more practical courses, examinations, whatever. If you wanted to indigenize it, just indigenize it. Create identity, okay? So what I'm saying is that the problems we are having today are caused by selfish people who want to do business with everyone in Kenya and every system. So even when you see something like SHA, it's not because the NHIF was not working. It's that if it had teething problems, you deal with those problems. You don't overhaul the system, because overhauling is expensive for nothing. Yeah, it's like reinventing the wheel. So I am here to say there is a different way of doing Kenya.
Okay.
There is a totally different way of visual, and you can come from the known to the unknown. We know what worked, so we can borrow a leaf from there. We have all these reports, the Ominde reports, you have all these, education reports. Yeah. So it is up to the leaders in any government to go back to those expert reports. Whether you are dealing with legal redress, you have the WACI reports, whether you're dealing with land reforms, you have all the data you need. And so it is just lack of will. And I'm saying a Kigame presidency, first of all, comes to the table with a will to serve Kenyans, comes to the table with common sense, and comes with the place of experts. We have to centralize the place of experts.
Okay, I am coming to your presidency discussion by itself. Just before we leave education, why do you think the capitation money is not getting to schools? Like, what's the challenge in there, and why?
The challenge, Sarah, is just one thing. We call it corruption, but it is actually theft. Ni wizi. Unasikia? Ni wizi. In other words, ni kama nikupatie, so I give you 20,000. I say, take 20,000 to Reuben Kigame.
Okay.
You take 9,000 and you keep 11,000.
Yes.
What do you call that? That is theft. Because when you allocate 22,000 shillings, per student,
Yes.
and then you don't even actually send all the 22,000, you send less than 10,000. What are principals of those schools supposed to do? They are expecting 22,000 per student.
Yeah.
You send 9,000. Why are you holding back, the 13,000 or so? Why? For what? And then why are you delaying it? If it's allocated, if it is budgeted for, release what is budgeted for. And that's the same thing the counties are suffering, that money is allocated, it's released, but not all of it gets, or you send it in bits.
Yeah.
And you never get to pay all of it. Then you have a side issue, and that is theft using what I would call the ghost culture, where you allocate money to non-existent entities or institutions like schools or dispensaries or hospitals. So you have ghost workers, ghost hospitals, ghost schools. So in the education sector per se, you see, like in 2024, you allocate 656 billion shillings to the sector. That's the highest spender in our budget. You actually allocate that much money. You're talking billions, okay?
Yes, yes.
And then you have CDF on the side.
Yes.
It's not part of that.
It's a different budget.
Yeah. So if you calculate, you realize, Sarah, that if you were to, let's say, allocate about 15,000 per student per year to primary schools, you allocate about 27,000 to high schools, you allocate roughly maybe 200 to 210,000 to every university student. What you would spend on education to make it completely free, as in kids paying nothing, would be about 298 billion.
That's a quarter.
It's just less than half.
Yeah.
So 298 billion. So if you can offer education for 298 billion for free, why are you spending 656 billion and it is not free? You haven't included CDF. So we're saying, first of all, CDF should be scrapped because it's a looting basket. So scrap it. If you want to give monies to education, put it in the same pool and let the Ministry of Education allocate to everybody equitably. You don't make MPs and governors and senators in charge of an education fund. So all these systemic mismanagements are a ploy for looting. And Kenya is a looting, place. It's a looting culture. The governments of Kenya are looting boxes. So you use allocations, you use budgeting, you use all of that to loot from citizens. Taxes, hard earned money. You take it, spend it as you want, buy apartments in other countries, do all this because you think you are more special than all the other citizens. And I'm saying, Sarah, absolutely not.
Not that.
No.
Okay. Part of trying to fight this corruption was the president saying we have to do away with NHIF and bring SHA. His communication was that SHA was supposed to help seal all these loopholes where corruption was happening. But then it's come, and then again, there are issues of corruption that are going on, even sending money to unregistered hospitals. Well, we have seen the CS at least say they've been taken to DCI and all that. But then what is the gap if then even the president looking at it, trying to change, but then whatever he brings again takes us back to where we were?
So I used to think common sense is common, but I don't think common sense is common. So common sense thinking goes this way. NHIF has a problem.
Yes.
You identify what that problem is. Okay?
Yes.
So let's say there are corrupt officials in NHIF. So do you remove the system or do you remove the corrupt officials. You see?
Yeah.
So the argument about establishing SHA because NHIF is not working is a stupid argument. It's a lazy man. It's not even lazy. It's just criminal. Because if a system is not working, you fix the system. So the answer to a system that is not working is not to put up a new system. So SHA is what you call an alternative looting box. Because you want to perfect looting and it will cost you money to set it up, you will procure, you will spend money. So let's come to SHA as a system. If NHIF was wrong or was faulty because there were corrupt officials, what shall we say of what we now know about the Duale and these fake hospitals and, was it called Nadla or the Isili-based hospital? Ladnan. Getting like 220 billion, that is.
No, it was actually million.
Sorry. 220 million. And Kenyatta Hospital getting like 70. This huge hospital. I think Moi Teaching and Referral was down at about 60 or so. Now, what are you saying? That a private entity that is not even known gets more money than the national hospital like Kenyatta? So if NHIF was not working because of corruption, guess what is happening with SHA? You've not just procured a new system, therefore cost money, but it's also not working. It's not working because Kenyans are not receiving services, but you're also looting. So if looting was a problem in NHIF and there is looting in SHA before it even finishes 2 years, Sarah, we just need to wake up and chase people out of town. We need to get them off our government, like hands off, get out. Because how do you keep fooling 55 million people? And how do we as Kenyans just continue saying we have a president, we have a government, we have CSS, we have MPs, we have senators, and all of them are just part and parcel of a destructive looting machine?
So
I can't take it.
You can't take it.
No.
The question,
if you people can take it, I can't.
Okay, I think most Kenyans won't take it. But
Kenyans are acting like this is just talk. So you form WhatsApp groups. You have all these people talking on X like it's just pastime. This is looting taking place every single day. And one more day of any of these governments in office is one day too much.
Okay.
Yes.
The question then begs, when it was NHIF, it was the tender of former President Uhuru Kenyatta. We had the corruption. We have now the presidency of Dr. William Ruto.
Yes.
We're having the same problem.
Yeah.
And it's different people.
Now,
then
Sarah,
is it a people problem? Because then maybe we may be attacking the president, but he's not running the ministries, perhaps.
Yeah, but you're running away from a small detail.
Which is?
Who was the deputy of Uhuru Kenyatta?
He was the deputy, yes.
President Ruto, who is the president now,
Yes.
was the deputy of Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
And corruption was a problem, okay?
Yes.
In Uhuru's government, where he was the deputy president. So who is the common denominator? Ruto. So if there was corruption in Uhuru's government, in fact, Uhuru comes up and says, we are losing 2 billion shillings every day.
Yeah.
And the deputy is Ruto. So that should have been a red flag. So that when Ruto comes into office, the first thing he should do is deal with this 2 billion being lost every day. Corruption should have been at the top of his agenda. Okay? Yeah. So, in other words, this is a leaking house. You don't come in and say, there's no money. I mean, you are part of the same government. So, what I hate to see, and I've tweeted it again and again, and I say, Ruto cannot come 3 years into his government to say now, oh, I'm discovering there is a corruption problem. Oh, I'm discovering these members of parliament are corrupt. If he's discovering now, then he's not fit to be a president. If he knew that it was there, and I'm sure he knew because his boss said it,
yes,
and he has not done something about it, it also means he's not fit to be president. It's either one. Either you knew and you have not done something, or you did not know. Is there a third option? There is none.
Ignorance, perhaps.
And ignorance is no defense.
Of course.
Yeah.
So do you feel then we have a people problem culturally? Because even if, let's say you're president today, systems are run by people. Systems don't run themselves. It's the people.
True.
So is it a people problem? Because I'm sure, like the cabinet of President Ruto is different from the cabinet of Uhuru, except for these people who came a few later. But then if we have new people and then the problem of seems to be perennial, then how do we fix that? Because are we expecting too much as Kenyans and delivering too little in our small ways?
That's a good question. So, are people the problem? Not exactly. What is the problem? The problem of Kenya is we have a wrong or erroneous, a bad philosophy of government. And secondly, we have lost our distinctive as an African nation. So on the question of philosophy, we go into government, we form political parties without a consistent people-centered philosophy. Even if you just had a simple thing like Moi saying peace, love, and unity. Peace, love, and unity. Nice sounding. Peace, love, and unity. But that philosophy of peace, love, and unity is toothless in terms of creating a government that works for the people. If you look at the Constitution, it's people-centered. Yes. If you look at laws, they're people-centered, but you put in people that are not people-centered. They're business, they do business with the lives of people. So why I say philosophy is our problem. Even if you took ODM, UDA, or whatever, they say all the nice things.
Yes.
But the philosophies of life and leadership is wrong. So to fix this, for us as a people, but also for the sake of posterity, we need a different philosophy. And that's why I'm proposing personally that we run Kenya on utu, haki, na maadili. Translated, human dignity or humanness, justice, and values or character-driven leadership. Okay. If we all the time thought about Sarah is my fellow human being, Sarah is my fellow citizen, I cannot steal from her, I cannot take advantage of her. That is the utu. Yeah, I look at you as a person, mtu mwenzangu,
yes,
fellow human being. So for me as a man, wanting leadership and so on, I don't look at how much I can get out of Sarah in terms of money. I ask, what can I do to improve the life of Sarah? I don't look at you as a lady and ask, when can I take you to bed? Because you qualify to be my daughter, my sister. I look at you, and I like this about the Bible in 1 Timothy 5. It tells me exactly that I look at you as either my daughter or my sister or my mother. Their role, those categories in terms of female relationships. I don't look at you as, okay, I've met you, where do you work? What can I come and get? I should be asking, what can I give? You see? Yeah. So the Utu philosophy means that if I'm going to raise taxes, I must ask, how is that going to affect you? If I borrow money from China or from wherever for projects, and I don't do projects, then I'm taking advantage of you as a person.
Yeah.
So our philosophy needs to be right. When it comes to haki or justice, there are those fundamental rights that you can't take from a human being. The UN talks about the inalienable rights.
Yeah.
Every human being has a right to food, for example. You must eat. Every human being has a right to water, not clean water, to drink, to shower. You need water. Without water, huwezi kusurvive. Every human being has a right to education. You have come into the world, you need to learn how the world goes and so on. You have a right to that. You have a right to have a roof above you. So all these are what I'm calling fundamental rights. Sarah, I don't have the patience to sit down, let's say as a presidential candidate, and begin to decide, whether tall people are better than short people. Or I have no patience to decide what you do in your bedroom. Okay? Yeah. We can make, if you're doing something criminal, you're going to be discussing how to kill me, then I'll be interested. Yeah. But whether you're going to marry a Luo or a whatever, these are cultural things. Those are not fundamental rights. But if as a president, I mess up your food access, I mess up your health system, I mess up your education system, I mess up your ability to go to work, you have no jobs, then I have no audacity, I have no right to be your president.
That's true. Factual, 100%.
Yes. And then lastly, you have the issue of values, character. And that is where the problem is. Because Kenyans assume that all we have, in terms of leaders are those that come to the media, those that run around boxing each other and throwing chairs at each other. I travel this country of Kenya and I travel overseas and I know Kenya has good unsung heroes, professionals of character that can be in government. The problem is we don't put them in government. We always have this propensity to attract the worst of them, the thugs. So I travel, for example, we know for sure, and we read because, if information is power. Yes. The person that put together the London traffic system is Professor Washington from Kisumu.
A Kenyan.
The London traffic system. I met Paul Omulokoli in the Carolinas in the States. His master's thesis is how to use quantum physics to solve traffic situations in North Carolina. This is a Kenyan, the son of my chaplain at KU.
Wow.
Solving Carolina's problems. We have medical doctors, we have professors, we have lawyers out there. We have farmers from Kenya solving other countries' farmers' problems. Yeah. The problem with Kenya is we hate our professionals. We think they are spare gadgets. People go to school. You have, like I was reading, 50% of the engineers are jobless. 50%, Sarah. You read, you find teachers, they have trained. We need teachers, but they are sitting at home. We have nurses going to other countries because we are not giving them. What kind of country are we? We hate our professionals. You have a professor like Wandi Njoya.
Yes.
Powerful professor of education and, good at policy. We are messing up CBC. She has the answers to education. We don't want to consult Wandi Njoya. That's who we are. And look at this. So we finally get into office. You are the president.
Yes.
And you have a chance to appoint a CS in education. You don't go to pick a CS from the university, a professor of education or a long-standing teacher. You pick your crony who has never been in an education class. You pick a medical doctor and make them. Magoha was what? A medical doctor, isn't it?
Yes.
Urology.
Yes.
Unamfanya minister for education. Because you are who? How do you run a country that has so many experts like that in education? And you can go to agriculture. You can go to who is running the Ministry of Defense? Is it somebody?
Soipan?
Is Soipan a defense expert?
I
What is she doing in that ministry? Get, Major Sawe or one of those people that are good, long-standing people of military honor. Give them those jobs. Kwani ni mimi naona hivyo peke yangu, Sarah, that you put people, that's what I call meritocracy.
Yeah.
Okay? So we don't want to use meritocracy. And so values run through the windows. You appoint cronies instead of appointing experts. So if I was to do government differently, it doesn't begin with when I'm in office. It begins now. So
at the moment, as you run your campaigns.
Let's say if you are a media expert, Sarah, you are a media expert.
Yes.
So I would put you in media. Okay? Mm-hmm. I cannot take you as a media expert and put you in agriculture. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that in your house.
Yeah.
It does. You don't go and get a lawyer to do your plumbing.
There'll be a mess.
It will not work. Yeah. I mean, even you know it will not work. And so, if we don't do that at home, you don't allow stealing in your company. So why are you stealing in government? So character is everything. And I'm asking Kenyans to, for the first time ever, before you ask somebody to be your MP, MCA, women rep, whatever, senator, governor, look at their character. If they have been stealing from you, they will certainly steal.
There's no truth.
Yes. And let's not behave differently when we come to government, because if you know somebody has been stealing in your company, you don't promote them.
Yeah.
You sack them.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you announced the other day that you want to be president, and these are things we are talking about, of the systematic issues that we have. Top 3 of your agenda that you feel as President Kigame would fix this nation. What are those things, and how would you address them?
I want to tell you something before I answer your question.
Yes.
You've had many declarations, isn't it?
Yes.
I think the first one to announce that they wanted to run for office was Okiya Mtata in October of last year, 2024.
Yes.
He put up what you call the Presidential Exploration Team. Then you had, you actually, a little before that, there was the young man, Morara.
Yes.
And then he reneged on it later. The next one was Justice, former CJ Maraga.
Yes.
You had Matiang'i. Matiang'i had a big rally, meeting in Kisii, and so on. You had Boniface Mwangi, and about a week ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard these people declare, isn't it?
Yes.
Have you, and I'm asking you, have you had any of them being stopped from declaring?
Nobody's going to stop anyone, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
So my question is, why was Reuben Kigame being stopped from declaring? And I'll give you
stopped you.
I'll give you a history. 2022, the police, we were going to declare at Chester House. The police cancels that meeting, orders from above. Okay? I won't even go into being blocked from running for office by IEBC.
Yes.
I'll fast forward to about the 19th of August. I get the permit to hold a declaration meeting at Kenyatta Market on the 20th. Okay? I think I'm mixing dates here. 20th was Wednesday, so 18th was Monday. So the Friday before, I got the permit to hold the meeting. On Monday 18th, I get the cancellation of that permit.
Oh.
Okay? And I'm asking why? Why wouldn't any of these others, and I'm saying, what is so unique about Reuben's declaration? All I want to say is that I have the intent to run. I'm not the president. I'm intending to. So if you tell me I can't do that, then come the day and I say I'm not going to declare, okay, I'll be obedient. I will not hold a rally. I had wanted to. So I obey. So I say, instead, I'm going to do a presser, just a press conference. Mm-hmm. Do you know they scuttled the press conference? They sent police.
For a presser?
Yes. Ever heard anybody send police to stop a presser of someone saying, I have the intentions to run for office? And I'm asking, what are they so afraid of? What is it about my particular presidency or intentions? Am I a criminal? Am I a non-Kenyan? Well, there are people who think Kigame is from Rwanda. I'm from Vihiga.
Just so they know.
So they know. Yeah, I speak Luya. I speak a bit of Luo. I speak some Kikuyu. I'm a Kenyan. I'm a bona fide Kenyan.
Yeah.
So I wanted to basically say there must be something that really irritates the system about me running.
Okay.
And maybe Kenyans should check and ask, what is it about Kigame that makes everybody so uncomfortable? Is it that I'm a thief? No. If I'm a thief, you take me to court.
Yeah.
Is it because I don't know. I just have no idea, Sarah.
Okay, I have an idea.
Oh, you have an idea?
I can pass it to you, maybe.
Okay.
Critics argue that.
Help me here.
Let me help you.
Yeah, please.
Critics argue that Reuben Kigame is a known gospel musician.
Okay.
So for that matter, a Christian, as expected.
So they are protecting my faith.
No. Not your faith. They know that a lot of Kenyans are Christian.
Okay.
Naturally. It doesn't matter how you define it.
Religious, let's say, because I also have a lot of Muslim friends.
Yes.
And Hindu friends.
And so they assume, if you look at the population of what we call as Christian in Kenya or religious, then you take away a lot of the votes. So you are a threat to the system.
So what if the Christians and Muslims want to vote me? It's their constitutional right. But if that was the argument, Ruto came on the ticket of being a Christian.
And became a president.
So what's the problem? He was a Christian, I'm a Christian. It means that being a Christian is not an illegal thing.
It is not, definitely.
But I need to add, Sarah, I have a lot of atheist friends.
Interesting.
I do.
Yeah.
Harrison Mumia is a good friend of mine. We don't agree ideologically, and I wish he was a Christian like me. But I want, even if today I was given a chance to be a president, I would probably, one of the people I would give a chance, especially in the area of finance, would be Harrison Mumia.
For those that don't know, Harrison is the chair
of the atheists in Kenya.
Yes.
But he's a professional.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're a professional, I'm not, Kenya is not a church.
True.
Yeah. So I become a president for everybody. And I don't care if you're a witch or whatever. I don't support witchcraft, and I will pray for you. But if I'm your president, I cannot refuse to send services to your village because there is a witch.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you begin killing witches like, the suspected witches, as they do in Kisii, among the Giriama and so on, which is against Utu, my Utu philosophy. If you do that, I'll jail you. Not because I support witchcraft, but because you are infringing on the right to life, Article 26. Okay?
Yeah.
So to answer your question then, my 3 commitments to the people of Kenya are basically 1, bomoa ufisadi, which means dismantle corruption. Not deal with, bomoa, dismantle it.
The how?
Go with hammers, boom, kill corruption.
Okay.
Theft. Number 2, tekeleza katiba, implement the constitution. We have a constitution that can work for the people of Kenya, but the leaders don't want to implement it. They lift their hands and swear, I will, implement the constitution. They don't. And thirdly, if I was given a chance to be president, my commitment is jenga Mkenya, empower the individual citizen. Not just so much, this group wa Kenya. No, I want to look at you as an individual and say, are you eating? Are you going to school? Do you have something to do in terms of work? I want to build you as a person. And policy, for me, is about asking, will this policy change the lives of individual Kenyans or not? If it's not going to improve the lives of the Kenyans, I'm not interested in it. I'm not going to fund it, no. And if borrowing is going to help, yes. If it's not going to help, I'm not borrowing. So the issue is build the person. And then I'll tell you something that is very, very close to my heart. I've been to school. I have a PhD.
Yes.
And I know about statistics and demographics and all of that. But you don't judge the success or growth of a country by sheer statistics. So GDP is good for quantification and so on, but I see it as an aftermath, declaration. It's an aftermath evidence of growth. You don't put GDP before the actual development. In other words, if you want to know that Kenya is developing, you don't look at the demographics. You look at people's faces. Are they happy? Are they frowning? You look at people's stomachs. You look at people's health. You look at whether their children are sitting at home while yours go to school. You look at those aspects. You look at, whether people are being rained on. That's how you measure development.
Yeah.
Yes. If I was Uhuru Kenyatta, I would not build the expressway. You bet. The expressway would be the last thing. Because there are more people walking to work, Sarah, than driving. So you have to consider walkways, make them safe, cycling lanes, how public transport will work first before you address, these driving guys.
The few.
Yes. I would not, if I was Ruto, I would not allow America to build that expressway from Nairobi to Mombasa. Haitafanyika if I'm president. Na itafanyika. First of all, it will be a toll road, so people will be paying to use it. Why would you punish Kenyans like that? This is our country. So why would you do that? And, okay, if you want a private road, the first deal would be make Nairobi-Mombasa highway a good dual carriage.
Yes.
Yes? Once you're done with that, tunaweza ongea hiyo ingine. Make Nairobi-Malaba or Nairobi-Busia a dual carriage. I mean, I travel in Germany, in the UK, I go to the US. It's good roads everywhere. And these people go outside the country. They know those roads work. Yeah. So why are we allowing, the people of Nyandarua, for example, to have cabbages rotting and barabara too? So if your priorities are to invest in all these airports and so on, and your ground transport that people use is not working, you're a fool. You don't know how to think. Priorities. So Sarah, for me, life is so simple. Just do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Yes, at the right time. And set priorities.
I think it's setting them right.
if you have a chance to take a shower and a chance to go and weed your flowers, you don't go take a shower and then weed. You weed and then you take a shower.
Yeah.
That's how life works.
Okay. Very interesting perspective, which is also sounds very practical, by the way.
That's why Plato said, you should only let philosophers to lead. Because you think before
you act.
You don't think using your stomach. No, the stomach is for digestion of food. It's just like the false preachers who tell people, you send me 310 and God will bless you.
Yeah.
But they're the ones receiving the money. How can people be so gullible, so foolish? I'm a Christian, but I hate those televangelists who rob people. in the name of blessings and so on. So you can be sure if you do that as a preacher under my government, I'll jail you. Yeah.
So how are you going to fix the unemployment bulge?
Oh, yeah. So first of all, I must be honest with you that I'm not God.
Of course.
So it's not like when Kigame comes into office, all your problems will be solved. I don't solve all the problems.
Yeah.
But there are things I can do. So, for example, the first thing you do as a president is ensure that the level of investment matches the youth bulge. In other words, if there are more youth in the country, you invest more in youth projects. So, for example, most of them are coming out of college.
Yes.
They must have internship. And instead of having these 3 months, 6 months, attachments and internships, give these young people maybe a minimum of two years. Ask companies to absorb them for those kinds of internships and, give them a stipend or whatever. So that after those 2 years, they have not just had the internship and experience. They can actually be hired, and you can say, I've had a 2-year experience.
Okay.
Secondly, we need to diversify the economy so that we have a 24-hour economy where a university student can go to class from 8 to 5, and in the evening work at Kenchik or Java,
Yeah.
So that we make Java work or operate for 24 hours.
Okay.
That means you increase security, those are jobs. You increase transport because there will be people going to work and off work. Yeah? Those are jobs. You increase production because there will be more people eating.
Yes.
It's a chain, okay? And then we need to change the way we work in Kenya because we assume that you can only have one job.
Yes.
When you go to places like the US or Canada, you find people have 2 or 3 jobs. And you really need to take care of your health, of course. But if I'm a teacher, I can also be an Uber driver after work. So make systems work. Then invest in industries. Personally, I think the minimum we should have is 1 industry per county. We have 47 counties.
Yes.
So there should be a production unit in every county. Just to take Makueni as it's one of my success stories that I look up to, because not just because Kivuza Kibwana is my friend, but I think he did a good job.
He did, for sure.
So you make if Makueni worked, you ensure that it's not working only part of the time. Make it work maximum. So have fruit, production and processing and so on. In a place where you have like cattle rustling, uko Pokot, Marakwet, and so on, fungua viwanda vya nyama so that you're not transporting the cows from that side. Malizia uko processing, wolves, zitakuwa na kazi yako, ngozi, nini, all of that. These are jobs. And then agriculture.
Yes.
Once you remove graft, because I told you meritocracy, the way you hire people, so puts experts in that so that you're having expert solutions. Yeah. So a place like Galana Kulana.
Yes.
You remove the graft, you will actually boost the production. The issue of leasing land from Kenya to foreigners to do farming before you take care of the local farmers and producers is a crime. So take care of the local investors first. In fact, for me, I would be asking those in the diaspora with the experiences and so on to invest here. Build factories. I would zero rate, the taxes and ensure that we provide incentives for energy and so on, so that production is not going to Uganda and Tanzania. It's here. And I don't want things we can produce in Kenya being imported, I would shoot you.
Yeah, that's very important.
What's the point of importing fruit juice and we have fruits rotting? What's the point of importing potatoes from Egypt and there are potatoes in Nyandarua? Guys, I don't get it. Okay, you want a better brand of, type of potato? Produce it here.
Yeah.
We have the experts, they can do it.
And we have the land.
Yeah. So, mimi nikienda kama, Kenchi, kama inaitwaje hizi KFC. Nipate mnatoa potatoes na huko. Nitafunga hicho kiwanda. Yes.
You've mentioned something very critical before I forget about making the Kenyan economy 24 hours. Why do you think 63 years later we're still not a 24-hour economy?
It's just the will. We don't want to do it.
How can we make it work?
Make me president.
Because that would be...
It sounds simple, but make me president, Sarah, it will work. Because that's what I want. I know it works. I travel.
Yeah.
So it's not like something new I'm going to be introducing. It works in the US. It works in Canada. It works in Australia. So why shouldn't it work here? I travel, and you have a city like Atlanta or New York that has more cars than Nairobi, and traffic lights control everything. Why aren't traffic lights working here? Sack the police guys in traffic that are not doing it. Sack those interfering. Shoot them, jail them, or whatever. We can't make the country stop because of a few stupid people.
They will say you said shoot them and you are
a
human rights defender. So.
Now listen. If you are going to steal from my mother, you steal from my children, you steal from my grandchildren, and you keep stealing and stealing and stealing, these are the people that should be behind bars. Okay?
Yeah.
Because the Kenya Constitution does not allow us to hang them, I would have wanted them hanged. But you can't keep exploiting, bothering people. Wewe ndio unasumbua Kenya.
Yeah.
Fungwa.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we know you are the problem. At a treasury, auditor general, anasema department is led by a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm basically saying, give me a chance.
All right.
Yeah.
Kenyans
give me a chance.
Give you a chance.
Yeah.
For
give
sure.
me a chance.
We have time. You have time to convince them to give you a chance as we go.
Yeah. But then if you also don't give me a chance, and I've told you what I want to do, if somebody else does something else, own it. It's your problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Live with the consequences.
Yes.
Something that is very critical for Kenya is the debt. As a president, what would you do about the issue of debt in Kenya? Because every day, nowadays, we are told for every 100 shillings we make, 70 goes to debt.
Yeah.
30 goes to, what is it called? Paying salaries and...
Yeah, taking care of the recurrent. Yeah.
Recurrent. So we have nothing for development. So what would you do about it?
There are three things. First of all, correct the notion that every debt we have is a debt. Because we have what we call odious debts. Money borrowed in our name to do certain projects that never did those projects. People took off with it. And we know them. So the first thing is separate issues. There are real debts, then there are odious debts. For odious debt, recover, repatriate, and jail. For real debts, you can renegotiate, okay?
Yeah.
Or you can also negotiate for cancellation. Some countries, some partners are very good friends. You can do that.
Yeah.
The other thing that we need to do about debt is temporarily suspend borrowing. By the way, there is domestic borrowing and then there's external.
Yes.
So suspend borrowing for maybe about 2 years so that you clean up the system, repatriate, recover, whatever, but also reprioritize your projects so that you actually can relate the monies you're borrowing to the real projects that are being implemented. Now, the third thing you do is, and I say it on camera today, send away every foreign intrusion that has got to do with forcing us to either borrow or spend in a particular way. I do not want IMF control. I do not want World Bank control. They may be good friends, they can give advice, but I want local economic solutions from local Kenyan experts.
Very interesting,
Yes.
that one. So does that mean...
The IMF
Yes.
is eager to lend you money.
Yes.
The IMF is eager to dictate how you run your country, and that kills your sovereignty.
Yeah.
In fact, anything called global, you need to first of all, protect your sovereign interests before you negotiate. So something like World Health Organization, good guys, you're experts. I also have my experts. Okay?
Yeah.
Research is going on here. KEMRI is here.
Yeah.
Even if you go to things like, ICIPE and all these, CARI, there is research going on here.
Yes.
So I would prioritize local experts solutions. Then we can now go global and talk about what we don't have in terms of experts or policy. We can borrow a leaf from there. But I do not want somebody from out coming to tell me how many hospitals I should build.
A lot of these organizations, and we know it's public knowledge, are funded by these same organizations. Because apparently, locally, we do not support a lot of local research financially. That's why most universities are not doing a lot of research.
Exactly. So that's why you need a Kigame presidency. Because I know what academia is all about. I know what research is about. I know what grants are all about. Every university would have to individually assess what grants they receive, what purpose, because some grants have strings attached.
Yeah.
Okay?
Now, from the way you're talking, are you going to look east or west?
I'm a social democrat, okay? I am what you call a moderate. In other words, I like a lot of things on the left. I like some things on the right as well. So we need a balance. I will take what works for my people, okay?
Okay.
But in terms of foreign policy, I'm very, very, very much non-aligned. So that for something like the Middle East crisis between Israel and Palestine, Kenya took sides with Israel. That's the wrong way to go. Because, you see, when I look at the Israeli conflict, I say to myself, when Hitler was killing 6 million Jews, the world stood with Israel. We defended the Jews.
Yes.
Now, Israel is exterminating the Palestinians. It's no longer just a Hamas thing. How many months later, since October 2023, I think it was, it is wrong for anyone to send missiles and bomb Israel. I wouldn't support Iran sending missiles to kill. And neither would I support Israel hitting Iran.
Yeah.
Peace is greater than war.
Yes.
All war is a waste of time, resources, and life. So you lose all the time. We must come to a table and put first things first. So I would say to Israel, stop bombing the Palestinians. Stop killing children, women, destroying hospitals and so on.
Journalists.
Yes, journalists being killed, and you see, killing journalists in that context is just as wrong as the Kenya government, shooting at journalists. It is wrong to to kill or injure journalists wherever it is, whether it's in Europe, in Middle East, or Nairobi.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be done. And so war is wrong between Israel and Palestine. It's also wrong in Sudan. It's wrong in Congo. It's wrong everywhere. It's wrong in Syria. These are people made in the image of God. And that's why I'm non-aligned, because I don't go now debating who is better between Zelensky and Putin. It's not about personalities. It's about the people. Don't kill people. And that's why it is wrong for the US to send arms so that you empower people to kill. So that's my position, and I stand by it.
Okay, very interesting position. Something that is critical for Kenya, I think, is the church and politics, and looking at where the church has taken us and taking sides and all that. How would you deal with that as a president?
There is a private angle to it. There is a public angle to it. Privately, I am a committed Christian.
Yes.
And that's a personal decision. And I want to be the best Christian, that there can be, to please God and, serve the people, whatever. I am a Christian. I do believe in the Bible. So when you violate the Bible, when you contradict the Bible, it bothers me. So, for example, I personally cannot put together being a Christian and being a liar. Because Ecclesiastes says, it's better not to promise than to promise and not fulfill. That's a spiritually anchored foundation. And so I want to see more authentic Christianity, but it is personal. Christianity is first personal before it is corporate.
Yeah.
So I prefer to see pastors that are not necessarily aligned with government for handouts or whatever. It's wrong. I would like to see an end to televangelists that take advantage of people. I want to see an end to the licensing of people like those who are televising before Shakahola.
Yeah.
So anyone using religion or faith or God or church to swindle people, I would go, and deal with that, because I personally believe it is wrong, but also for the sake of government. I really think it's important to have values in every place. But now, how would I work with the church? The church, is a powerful institution, just like the mosques.
Yes.
So religious institutions, I would work with them in this way because they meet the people in the community regularly.
Yeah.
I would want policies or discuss with them ways in which we can partner government and those religious institutions in social projects and stuff like that. So, for example, the issue of removing street children from the town streets and so on. That is something that I can work with mosques, I can work with Hindu temples, I can work with the churches.
Yeah.
And because they're safe havens, they can be trusted and so on. Things like community, let's say if I was to distribute fertilizer in Lamu, because there's farming there, or I was to distribute it in, Mogoti or one of those. I would work in Mogoti with the churches. I would work in Lamu with the mosques. Because not only are they trusted, but these people meet the people regularly, at least once a week.
Yeah.
So we have to forge partnerships with the religious institutions. You have charity projects among the Hindus, for example. And so if there was a charity need, I would want to work with them. That's what presidency is all about. I can't do everything. And government is not the answer to everything.
Yeah.
There are things we have to do as a community. There are things we have to do as institutions that affect daily living.
Okay. Very nice. Sounds very legit. Would you be one to put up a church in State House?
Never. Why? I'm called to be a president, not a bishop. Even if I was a bishop, like Lazarus Chakwera in Malawi, that would not license me to make Malawi subject to the assemblies of God. The presidential mandate is totally different from a bishopric,
Yeah.
And so, first of all, State House is a state house. It's for the state. So you don't bring in personal or other, interests. If you put a church at State House today, and then you have a Hindu president next. So do you pull down the church and say, we'll put up a Hindu temple? If you had a Muslim president next, do you then say, now we need to pull down the church and build a mosque? Some things I used to think common sense was common. It's not.
All right. Something else that has been critical has been the inclusion of people with disabilities across. And we've seen one of the best performing, in my opinion, senators is Senator Christo Asige.
Correct.
So how...
You've forgotten Tim Wanyonyi.
And Tim Wanyonyi. He did a good job.
Yeah.
But currently people are complaining he's not in Westlands anymore. He's just campaigning for governorship, I think, in Bungoma. So there's a gap. But yes, his record has been great. I think you should call
him here and ask him to answer that one.
He will be coming for sure.
But can we answer the principal question?
Yes,
of,
the question.
Whether or not persons living with disability can also perform in government? The answer is yes, they can. And it's not just the Kenyan example, although we can begin with Kenya. So Tim Wanyonyi is one. Crystal Asige is doing a great job. But you've forgotten that we swore in President Kibaki on a wheelchair.
Yes,
and so far, he remains the best president that there was. So maybe there is something about disability
and performance.
I don't know. Maybe that's a research that can be done. I'm not positive about that. But going out of the country, I don't know whether you've heard of a president from Indonesia called Gus Dur.
I need to read that.
Gus Dur was blind. Okay, and I think he was there in around 1999 to 2001. Especially he was very good with dealing with Indonesian relationships with the neighbors. Very, very good. And I mean, none of us is perfect, but I'm just saying that disability does not prevent someone from performing a lot of, tasks.
Yeah.
I've been in media for the longest time.
Yes.
They said blind people cannot do microphone work. I actually not only broadcast, but I also set up a station myself from scratch.
Yes.
If you asked me today about transmitters, antennas, and all the diodes that go with them, how to set up stereo signal versus... I know all of that.
Yeah.
And... this is in a field that is fairly specifically professional. And if you took me to the classroom today, I would teach.
Yeah.
And I teach. I've taught in high school, I've taught at the university. So, and I have a lot of students that have done well and so on. I've been in business. I've run a restaurant, Java style restaurant. And when I talk media, by the way, if you ask SK Macharia or people that I worked with at Citizen like Titi Nagwala or even the former governor, Granton Samboja, the Esther Macharias, Joyce Gituro, all these guys. They can tell you that John Maloba, Papa Nasty, these are people that can tell you that if you give me a chance, it will work. And you can ask Leo Slingerland of Family Media. You can ask Philemon Maisaka and the rest of the team at Hope Media and my performance there. You can ask my staff. 50% of the voices at Hope FM were actually my employees. I have some at Standard Group, and Joseph Njane at Citizen used to be one of my reporters, my Nairobi correspondents. So what I'm trying to say is all I need is an opportunity, permission. Yeah, it's not as if I'm asking for something I want to experiment with.
Yeah.
No, I'm so ready to serve the people of Kenya. I'm so ready to offer leadership that is beyond sight, that looks at the heart, that looks at the inner side of things. And I want to say something in the most politest of ways, Sarah, and I'll say it to you. If sight could solve the problems of Kenya, then we have had 5 presidents with sight. We are still complaining. It's not about sight. And maybe, just maybe, these eyes and physical beings, the ability to walk, the ability to hear and smell and so on, perhaps sometimes these things can be impediments to performance. I think Kenyan leaders see too much, even things they shouldn't see. Yeah. I think tamaa imekuwa mingi sana. Ukiona shamba unataka. Unaona? Ukiona bibi ya mtu unataka. Ukiona pesa, hey, you want to faint. Maybe it is time for us to look with our inner eyes. Maybe. I may be wrong. But if Kenyans want change, we've got to look beyond eyes and the ability to walk, because some of these people with the ability to walk are walking to the wrong places.
Yes.
It's time for introspection. It is time for us to ask the real questions and put in office people who think, people who can solve problems, people who love people, and people who fear God, for what it is. I really think Kenya is at that point where if we don't introspect, we will be in this space for a very long time, still crying, and yet the answers are here. Being elected as president is volitional. It's something that Kenyans decide.
Yeah.
I can't force myself to be Kenya's next president, but I can offer myself. And Sarah, it's not easy. It's tough. You get all the ridicule. You get threatened. People try to poison you. People try to kill you. So it's not like something one just enjoys doing because you want power. If I wanted a name, I already have a name. If you go on social media, if you Google Reuben Kigame, you will certainly find things.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to ask Kenyans to give me a chance to be famous. No. But there is something we must do for Kenya. There is something we must do for the youth. There's something we must do for posterity, our children's and children and children's children. If we don't do it now, we may never do it.
Wow. That's very deep. And I hope Kenyans can hear you and have heard you and will buy into your ambition, because clearly...
I hope at least I have one vote, and that vote is from you.
You have my vote. So far, you have my vote. Unless, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have
invite
to
other people
so I can...
let them sell their agenda.
Yes.
And then you choose. In fact, you don't even have to decide on me now.
Yes.
You listen to everybody else.
But so far.
And just decide.
So far,
and then
you have
tell
my
your
votes.
family.
Yes.
And then, tell your workmates.
Yeah.
That's how victory works.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Dr. Reuben, it's been amazing having you around and talking to you and just
thanks
hear
for
you
the
break
opportunity.
things for Kenyans.
Really thankful for the opportunity. And
anytime.
If we could do one thing, I hope we center the youth of this country. If we're going to fix Kenya, it would have to be fixing the lives of the youth. In fact, I hope in the next government there will be a lot of youth. They need to run for office. Yes.
There's a quickfire we do for just the social spaces.
Okay.
Quickfire questions. So let's go. Make them very brief answers.
Yeah.
Ever drunk alcohol?
Yes. At one point, of course, with food. so you wouldn't call me a drunkard, but I've taken some wine, yes.
Okay. Your favorite food?
Ugali and the traditional vegetables.
The club you support in the EPL?
Liverpool!
Messi, Ronaldo, who's the GOAT?
No.
Nah? None of the above?
Another time.
Okay.
But if I was to pick, maybe Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Interesting. Tea or coffee?
Coffee, anytime.
Is it always waking you up?
And I love the one from Meru that is grown organically. Very, very tasty.
Meru?
Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
very
know.
nice organic coffee.
Okay, should try that.
Yeah, come to my house. I'll fix you a cup, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure, that is a thing.
Yeah.
First thing you do in the morning?
Mostly pray and reflect, then shower.
Tarmacked Karura Forest or not?
It's a no-no. I hate what they're doing to Karura. I think we're dishonoring Wangari Maathai, and I hope Kenyans get more angry. You can tell I'm getting incensed here because we should keep our hands off Karura, and not just Karura, but all our green spaces.
And then finally, your best car model?
Subaru, especially the Tribeca.
Speed thrill?
Not really. It's also drives very well, very comfortable, very reliable. And of course, I wouldn't forget the speed.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Thank you very
speedometer
much.
goes to maybe like 240. I promise you I don't do that.
By that you drive?
With navigation, yes. You want me to take
On
you for a
Kenyan
drive?
roads?
Yeah, I mean, where else? You want me to take you for a drive? Do you trust me?
Should I be worried for my life?
Why? I've not died myself doing it, so why should you be worried?
Matatu drivers are crazy on the roads.
I'll take you where matatus are not.
All right, fantastic.
Deal.
Deal. Thank you so much. Young people, I hope you heard it from Dr. Kigame himself. And if you want change in this country, you have to be the change you want. So you must put yourself out there and run, perhaps, if you can. Support the people that are running and have integrity, and we will have the Kenya we want. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next episodes.